Google has made a massive investment in mobile esports, dropping $120 million into the Chinese company Chusho. The company's mobile esports streaming platform currently boasts over 8 million streamers and 250,000 live streams every day. The move is made in hopes of giving Google inroads into China, where their search engine is blocked. On the other hand, the Chinese firm is hopeful that the deal will expand to its services to viewers overseas.
I mean, but that assumes that mobile esports is going to become a really big deal.
Well,
I know
it's
that
kind of
that's
50-50.
We talked about that this week on Checkpoint Radio. And by the way, stay tuned. That's coming up at about 6 o'clock tonight here on twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. We'll have this week's Checkpoint Radio for you. But yeah, that I still don't buy that mobile esports are going to end up becoming a thing. Even though at CES, Razer showed off this new laptop that is basically powered by your phone.
Oh, I saw that commercial for that.
Isn't
I was
that
like,
kinda
what?
Crazy?
And then some companies coming out with a phone that's a gaming phone.
Yes.
Wow.
Huh.
And I'm
Specifically for shit like this.
Well, I think there's a few things to keep in mind here. First of all, remember that Hearthstone is considered a mobile esport, right? And Hearthstone is decent size.
Except you can play it on a PC.
Yes, you can. That's true. So
I don't know, dude. I don't think that meets the requirements. Hearthstone is a digital card game. It is also an esport. That does not make it inherently a mobile esport. Because what I consider an inherently mobile esport is something you cannot access on a PC.
What about a tablet? Are tablets okay?
Tablets are fine. That still makes it a mobile esport because you've still got the touchscreen controls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like.
So is Splatoon 2 on the Switch a mobile esport?
Because you can move around with this.
Yeah, because the Switch is a tablet.
But the Switch is also a console that can plug into a television.
Yeah, no, that's not the same thing. The Switch is not the same thing. You have to control. It has to be like it has to only have on-screen controls
to be mobile.
I think to be considered a mobile esport, yeah. I don't know that Splatoon
you wouldn't consider
honestly
something
counts
like
as an esport. I don't think it qualifies.
What about ARMS?
But if there was something specifically on like a 3DS or Vita, would that count as a mobile esport?
I fucking hate you, Chris.
Is Pokemon a mobile esport? It's not console.
Esport.
That's on a console.
It's a mobile game. No,
It's
you
on
mean
3DS.
Pokemon?
It's on a handheld.
Yeah, it's on a handheld.
But I mean, you guess you do compete with other people.
But no. What he's saying though is when we think of mobile gaming, we do specifically think
Phones.
of phones.
Right.
Yeah.
Phones and tablets, okay? So you can't access it on a PC. That's a big deal because if you can play it with a keyboard and mouse setup, then it makes it kind of indistinguishable from an esport.
Here's the
what
other...
makes a mobile esport is that you have to play it on a mobile device and you have to deal with all of the constraints that control scheme has with it.
But at our age, I feel like that's starting to become a little bit skewed because we've talked about the idea
of course it's skewed. We're way past the point where we can adapt to shit like that.
When we look at mobile esports, right, that's all we think of. Freaking Temple Run or Vanguard or whatever. It has to be on the phone. But going forward, Chris is still absolutely right. Anything that's on the Switch, if you can take it out of your house, that is mobile gaming now. We're going to start getting to the point where, like you said, a freaking phone that's a gaming phone or a phone that can power your laptop. Like, we're going to start getting to the point where mobile gaming doesn't have to be all touchscreens, where you can plug in a controller
Then it transcends from being a mobile game to being an actual fucking video game.
If it has a physical controller?
Yes.
That's the requirement?
There's kind of, yeah, I think that there's a difference because it all has to do with the control scheme. It all has to do with the way that you interact with the game.
I can agree to that, yeah.
Right? Okay. So a mobile I don't think Hearthstone meets the definition then.
No, because that was actually built on the desktop first, and then it was ported to mobile shit. So.
Not just that, but I mean, by definition, I think it's way more a digital card game than it is anything else. Like before it's an app, or even before it's considered an esport or a video game, like if you took and you printed all of that shit on fucking cards, it would still work, right?
More or less.
Yeah, so it's a digital card game. It's different from Vainglory. Vainglory plays entirely different from Hearthstone. I don't think that the two are comparable, is my point.
Yeah, right. No, they're not. Well, a lot of esports sometimes aren't, so.
Well, but that's the thing. I don't think that Hearthstone meets the qualification to say that it's a mobile esport. If we're going to look at the success or failure of mobile esports moving forward, we've got to be looking at things like Vainglory. Right?
Tower defenses.
Yeah.
I actually
Clash-
didn't know that Hearthstone could be mobile. I've only noticed people playing on PC. So like I feel like if its PC visibility is that strong, that it doesn't count as mobile.
or
Tablets and phones, too?
or Clash Royale. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, okay.
that kind of shit is what sort of defines it, because those games play fundamentally differently. I mean, a lot of the control schemes are simplified to be able to compensate for the fact that you're on a mobile device. So the skill set for winning at something like Vainglory versus the skill set at winning at something like Dota 2, vastly different skill
Oh, yeah,
sets.
definitely.
Vastly different. So that's why I say that I just don't see mobile esports being, taking that much of a foothold.
It has to evolve a lot further than it is right now. And with the forward momentum that actual esports has right now, you're right. I don't think that it's going to penetrate, at least not the global market. With Japan trying to make changes to start getting into the esports scene, I could see mobile gaming maybe starting to take hold there in the same way that esports originally did in Korea before it started to catch on. But I think that we're still years and years off of it evolving into anything close to what we see with actual esports.
Well, yeah, but I mean, to put out there that like, oh yeah, 2018 is going to be the year of mobile esports.
Oh, no,
Come
no,
on
no,
now.
no.
Stop it.
Come on
No
now.
way.
Although the technology would suggest that might be possible.
Okay, I could see that maybe we have the technology for it, but it goes way beyond technology.
No, I agree.
No,
I agree.
in fact,
sentiment has way more to do with
I would say that Mad Cats would make a comeback before mobile esports does.
it. Fair enough.
And a year after it looked like the end for Mad Cats, they have emerged from their bankruptcy and are returning to the gaming accessory market. Now based out of Hong